So today's topic is going to be about what is paper flipping a house. So paper flipping houses is basically the process of buying and selling property contracts rather than the property themselves. Instead of owning the actual real estate, you actually flip the contract that gives someone the right to buy the property. That is also known as wholesaling or property wholesaling. So here's how it works. First, you want to find a motivated seller. This is the very first step in finding a property owner who is eager to sell, often due to financial difficulties, foreclosure, or other personal circumstances. These sellers are typically willing to accept a lower price for a quick sale, and you can check your local tax assessor's office, bankruptcy list, estate sales, and probates to find these motivated sellers. The second step is going to be to negotiate a contract. Once you find a property, you'll get that seller to sign an agreement to sell. This contract is typically 30 days and allows me enough time to be able to find a buyer. Once we find a buyer, then we'll get a signed purchase agreement between myself and the seller. In this agreement, we'll lock down a price. Usually it's going to be below market value so that the investor will have an opportunity to be able to flip the house or to be able to rent the house out. So the whole purpose of the property wholesaler is to find value for both the seller themselves as well as the investor. Next, once you find a buyer, then you're going to actually have that buyer to sign what is called an assignment contract. Instead of buying the property, you're actually selling or assigning the rights of that contract over to another buyer or investor. Typically, they're always investors. You never hardly ever find where you'll actually have a homeowner trying to get it, but there are rare opportunities where that actually happens. You usually charge a fee for this. And so I've made as little as $1,000 to $30,000 on one particular contract. So you can actually do pretty well on property wholesaling. It just depends on you and how aggressive you are. In your assignment contract, you want to make sure that you outline what your assignment fee is. So for example, you may say the property will sell for $175,000 plus the assignment fee to XYZ LLC, and it will be for $10,000 or $30,000 or whatever it is, the amount that you're willing to accept for an assignment fee. In order to make the deal work, sometimes you will actually have to reduce your assignment fee if you're going to have a problem with the buyer or the seller. So sometimes the seller may actually say, oh, I don't think that I want to sell it for that amount. Or, for example, 9 times out of 10, the investor may find some issues that may go on with the house and may not decide to actually purchase the house for the amount that you're in agreement for. So sometimes you may actually have to go down on your assignment fee in order to make the deal work. Some of the benefits of paper flipping houses is that it's low risk. There's minimal upfront capital. So the only thing that you will actually be out of pocket is, for example, marketing costs like postage, yard signs, website, anything that you use to attract both your buyers and your sellers. There is also typically a quick turnaround because you're actually flipping contracts instead of a property. The process is a lot faster. So deals can be closed in a matter of weeks. Most times investors, they typically buy in cash. So rather than months, it often can actually take a few weeks or even a few days in most cases. And finally, one of the benefits of paper flipping a house is that there are no property management issues. So you don't have to actually worry about maintaining property renovations, or dealing with tenants, making this a great hands-off investment strategy. So if you're interested in paper flipping houses or property wholesaling, make sure that you actually learn the market, build a network, master your negotiation, and understand the different types of contracts. So as a recap of the different types of contracts involved in paper flipping houses, number 1, you will have an agreement to sell between you and the seller. The second contract will be a purchase agreement between you and the seller. And finally, the last agreement will be between you and the buyer, which will be an agreement to assign. These are the 3 different types of contract that are involved in paper flipping houses or property wholesaling. So paper flipping is a powerful strategy for anyone looking to get started in the real estate investing field without the high risk or large capital requirements of traditional house flipping. With the right knowledge, negotiation skills, and connections, you can actually make money by flipping these contracts without ever actually having to swing a hammer or even locate a contractor. Drop a line in the comment sections about any questions that you may have about paper flipping or property wholesaling. Also visit my website at housefliptoolkit.com. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share my channel.